to get the visuals correct, and it's no surprise that the Esau and the Voir are uh, represented by somewhat sort of an organized delegation of at least a dozen individuals of both groups who stick together, look over their shoulders a lot, glower, and try to sort of make themselves known as, we're here and don't you forget it. Um, they've already, for lack of a better word, claimed a quadrant of the hangar bay, or maybe an eighth of it, up against one of the sides. They've already kind of dominated that region and arranged themselves in such a fashion that it's kind of like turf. So that's been set up for those two groups. As far as the Scrang and the Luca and the Thrall are concerned, they seem very ready for this event. They're greeting the emissaries, are going and meeting all the other emissaries. In fact, here is the um, one of the Thrall who has come to the Avix emissary, who is a little bit flustered. In fact, the Avix emissary, turns to their presumed assistant, and in fact, will ask you, Helma, what will can you get the records ready? I'm trying to collate what it's saying, with, and it gets the pronoun gender wrong for the Thrall. So you're supposed to be there to kind of shore up the backstop this interaction. Um, so and it's not easy. I mean, you do have. I mean, gender becomes a very complex topic. The one on the Murkop is like,
Mhm.
we're talking fungi here. I mean, we're
Yeah.
talking like there's a whole lot of boxes to check off there.
Oh,
Don't
okay.
forget
Then
the
I'm going to correct my emissary about the gender problem in a quiet voice. Or quiet is
Mm-hmm.
relative, but
Mm-hmm.
yes.
All right.
Uh,
Well, in that sense, there's not much of a conflict there. There are people, moving from group to group. Some of them are more mobile than the others. The ones that I mentioned as kind of taking a bit of a command of the situation, in terms of moving around and feeling comfortable and demonstrating their sense of place, continue to do so. And so the Avix um, the Avix security um, is starting to kind of trade glares with the Esau and the Voir faction, who's clearly, hey, we own this part of the whole area. So I'm going now to open it up to you and your characters to tell me how you're going to be approaching this meet and greet situation, which is deliberately unconstructed by design.
Well, Hyber will try to mingle. Hyber's trying to be a cosmopolitan Hyber. Uh, uh, it's a whole bunch of different things here that Hyber is not permitted to mulch or to annihilate. Therefore, Hyber will, try to speak to him and perhaps even try to um, ape some of their protocols and behavior. Kind of like if you were, let's say, in Spain and you try to speak Spanish to, like, someone, just to show that, hey, I'm cool. I'm kind of hip. I can speak the language and do the walk. So that's what Hyver is doing. Hyver is going to the Scrang and giving them their salutations and, you know, the whatever their language is, and just scoping the place while also making sure that he is doing the job he is here to do, which is to protect and to potentially annihilate if he has to. So that's what he
Okay.
is doing,
Okay.
or
And
it is doing.
mhm. And while Hyver's doing that, and I'll follow up in a moment, let's get a look at what is the name of our Mercap, if there is one, a name.
Oh
There
yeah.
is one. It is Dukun. Dukun.
Got it. Okay.
And he has a last name, but I don't know if that's
And
important.
we'll deal with
So,
that in a bit. So excellent. So what is Dukan doing all on their own, I might add?
yeah, so Dukun is, people are setting up, things are happening, groups are talking, people are strategizing. He's in kind of a corner, a little darker, um, and you'll just see, eyes closed, little
Mm,
tiny eyes.
yeah.
Usually like a little burst of spores will kind of like fill the air around him. Uh, you know, and this is the corner he has slightly. And then after a moment, his little eyes open, and they're very bright green, kind of glowing in the darkness. And he slowly kind of comes out, small, not large. I'd say probably, a little under 5 feet.
Mhm.
Kind of anywhere he walks, it's very deliberate, it's
What sort
slow,
of
and
psychological
it's
or
almost like
mystic
you throw a
or
fog at
social
everybody.
act? Yeah. What sort of psychological or mystic or social act was the spores, if anything? What was that doing?
He likes to create his own realities. So
Ah,
whatever's happening, he's creating the reality he wants to live in,
I see.
um,
Okay,
through
okay.
these
So now
scores, and it's
he
just
now he feels much now he's like feels at home or whatever. Okay.
exactly like he's
Right.
where he wants people to perceive him as, and that's what he's trying to, kind of the level of perception that others have. He wants
Right.
to affect those with
Got it.
that.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay. So, in that sense, I would be quite interested in what the reaction of at least one or two other groups to that. But meanwhile, let's go to the AVIX. Um, the thing I want to tell you a little bit about is that after the security AVIX and some of the that one dissenting or at least less empowered faction have in common is that they like sizing each other up and like checking each other out to see who's tough. This has attracted the attention of one of the Esau, or rather has prompted one of the Esau to come and leaving just the teeniest bit of a slimy trail, coming to the Avix and is going and presents greetings. The security chief of the Avix, of course, goes into what you recognize as sort of the combat threat, chin down bird thing, to in that posture, not like an attack, but just kind of in that posture. And so the emissary, quickly checks the various rosters on the little technological pad that they have, and is returning the greeting. The So tell me about this. What is your character going to do? Just watching, or you've got a
My
Being,
character,
whoops,
no?
or
Sorry, Helma's character. This is the Avix.
oh,
Right.
kind of having an oops
Mm-hmm.
situation because she was basically somewhat unconcentrated. She was looking around and trying to get a bearings on pretty much every group in the room, not really paying attention to what was
Ah,
happening
okay.
in close to her. So she's like, "What's going on here? Wait,
Mm-hmm.
no, wait, this is okay. We are supposed to meet everybody here. Calm down."
Right. Okay. So you're calming down the
So
security
she
person.
she
Okay.
she's
Right.
trying to get this her
Mm-hmm.
security guy to
Right. Well,
like this.
right.
Gosh, does he have to show this now?
Right. Well, the security person will, of course, remind you. We'll settle down a little bit, and in fact, indeed, appear to diminish in size. Although we all know that's just because the feathers all stood up. But the security, your ally, your fellow delegate, who is about your age, as you mentioned, um, will tell you and explain to you and says this is the group that we're supposed to look out for. We don't want to get in with the underdog here. If we do, then the Scrang and the Thrall and everybody will just walk all over us. So we have to be nice to these people. They could be probably dangerous, but just keep an eye on the emissary. She tends to make promises. Nope, I'm sorry.
Minded.
Sorry, Elmer.
Who's be a little bit more open-minded, maybe?
Mhm.
Because who's up now, maybe down later, and the other way around. You never know. You're always thinking the ways things are now, they are going to stay this way. They aren't.
That's
Oh, and
convincing.
by the
Okay.
way, you see kind of on both of them probably that the feathers on their head, they are starting to change colors
Ah,
back and
excellent.
forth a
Okay,
little
right.
bit. So it's obvious something is going on there, even for people
Communication is occurring.
that
Yes. Yeah.
you can't really grip it.
Hmm.
So my
Excellent.
plumage is probably going a little bit back and forth between red and blue colors.
All right. Excellent. I completely get that. The um in the case of the of Dukan, your you have now acclimated as you have chosen to do, which now leads me to ask you, is there a particular group or people that you want to go investigate? Is there somebody you want to talk to? Is there what sort of? I mean, you're the sole representative here. What do
Yeah,
you
yeah,
have to tell people, and whom?
yeah. Basically, and is it Quixicol? Is that how you say her name?
Uh huh. Yeah, Ixcol.
So Quixicol, I'll be going by and I hear what she's as she's talking to her security, and I nod and I'll come up and gently touch her arm and say, "That's right. Let them know. Reinforce that idea. We only exist when we share information with each other and grow. We can grow together. We're going to change the reality of our worlds. Your minds." So, and I'm just kind of just, trying to, encourage her to keep going like that, to encourage her
Excellent.
people.
Well,
Yeah. Yeah, tone it down, man.
the
Be cool.
security person is this is great because these are they remembers the briefing. Oh, those are those underground fungus people. To an
Yeah.
aerial avian, that's like, okay, done. I'm going to go and watch the important thing, which is this militant or upstart faction talking with our emissary. So the security person's totally focused on that drama and not on the two of you.
Right.
So the two of you are freed up to wander and chat, if you will. The So just to get a better idea here, as for Hiver, um, let's see. I have the same question. Is there a specific group or faction that you're interested in connecting with? Remember, your people have been at war with at least one or two of these groups at least once. There's history here for everybody.
Maybe the what are they, the throw all?
Yeah.
They've got the glowy heads. Um, or maybe even the Avix. Now, do their feathers change color?
Yep.
Do they have like a, because with hivers, um, we have like what's called a photo olfactory navigation, which we smell colors or we smell light.
Mm.
So and that's how we navigate, which is actually kind of cool because that's how dung beetles actually navigate, is using the Milky Way, which I found out, which was crazy. But so I'm looking at them to see if I can maybe understand them a little bit better. So it won't be Hyver does not go up and necessarily speak to them so much as Hyver might just stand in front of them and look and see the glowing lights or the changing and then try to make some type of assumption from that. And occasionally we'll look over at its emissary, which is a little bit smaller than Hyver, but it's covered in drones. So just imagine this insect thing covered in drones, which accommodate it and also make it, comfortable and stuff. So, but yes, I'm just kind of like staring at stuff, and occasionally I might make a noise or say something to see if the colors change, to see if, I can see something like, does that, make them upset? Does it, do they change colors on purpose? Hyver wants to know.
Okay.
So,
well, that's excellent. We're not treating this as a conflictual situation, or at least not yet.
Right.
But we definitely are starting to get enough content here to start thinking about that sort of thing when and if it should occur. Now, the primary, right. Here's actually probably one of the first things to concern ourselves with. You Hyver, in trying to scope out the AVIX, there are quite a few other details to process about them. But one of the worst problems is that it's confusing, right? They keep smelling different, basically.
Right.
And right. So
Hyver
the first,
just ask
right.
them.
Wait, say that again. Go ahead.
Hyver might just ask them.
Right.
Hyver, why do you smell different?
Why do you keep smelling different? Excellent.
Yes.
Whom are you going to?
Why do
Well,
you keep smelling different?
emissary is talking to the emissary is talking to the Esau Voix faction representative. One of the Esau has come over, and then we have these two. This one Avix who seems to have nothing to do except talking to this Mercap person. So is that whom you're going to talk to?
If they're accessible,
yeah. They're more accessible.
Why do you continue to smell different? Smell different. Even now, your smell changes.
So yellow. Mm-hmm. Smell?
Mm-hmm. Again.
Like that right there. I saw it. I smelled it right there.
Yes. Hyver's trying to understand.
Oh, are you a chronicler too? Are you here to learn?
Hyver's always learning.
Information. Oh, that's so great. I don't think I smell different. So it's probably something else?
Hyver sees the smell. This one smells the same. Or actually, that one probably doesn't, since one's...
Well, it's kind of interesting because they definitely would be smelling differently all the time. Right. But on the other hand, if you're talking about color, that's not changing.
Yes. What is it? The Mercap smells the same. Avix change smell. I'm curious about the smell.
But wait, I can change. I can change.
Oh no. So what I get here is that you guys are all basically information gathering, right?
Yeah, probably. Okay. I mean, that's what I'm doing.
I mean, in a good way, not in like a really hostile way at all. But I mean, everybody's getting each other's vibe, catching each other's vibe, and stuff like that. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Much of the time, Hyver does not have time to ask such questions. But in this situation, however, has the benefit of being able to ask, as opposed to mulching or annihilating.
Well, sometimes the most important thing to do is die, so maybe annihilation isn't that bad.
Annihilation is bad. What is it? Mercap? Mulching serves purpose. Annihilation serves no purpose.
Yeah, I guess it's true, but I guess it's where you end up at on the other end.
There is no other end. Or at
There's
least
always
Hyver is not seen.
Ooh.
But Hyver has not been annihilated.
yet.
Yeah, we are here
Yeah.
to grow.
Well,
And
this
that
is
is
great
what
too. A
Hyver is
Mercap
able to
growth
do.
means annihilation first, and then growth.
Yes.